Good morning. Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a cool topic for sales today, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. What is our cool topic for today? Matter of fact, this morning, it is selling. When is the best time to sell? What? What did he say? I said selling. When is the best time to sell? See, that's a pretty good question because I get salespeople all the time asking me, hey man, I never get a chance to talk to customers. Well, my question is what is the product that you're selling? Are you calling people over the phone? Are you calling people knocking on their doors, door to door? Are you going business to business? What kind of selling are you doing? So you got to ask yourself, generally most companies, they want you to get started first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, first thing in the morning. But see, here's the thing. There are some customers who don't do business because they work until about 5 or 6 o'clock every day. So how do you capture those people? Well, a lot of times what I do is if there's people that I go and see and they're not home, I always leave a very personalized flyer saying who I am and why I was there. Now, this is a big benefit because, see, at least there's something there and it lets them know that, hey, I'm there for a particular reason. Now, I collect what they call leads. I get lead opportunities. I sell real estate and I sell heaters, pools, motors, and equipment and stuff like that. So what I do is when I get my lead source is I route my day out. I route my week out, and the reason being is because Jacksonville is a huge territory. It's a large area. So I go and talk to particular customers in particular neighborhoods who have pools. That's what I do. And then what I do, and I do a clover knock. I'll put about 3 or 4 flyers in a community where I've been if they're close, because I have to get to the next one. But selling, and our question is selling, when is the best time to sell? Generally, it's going to be, if you're a door-to-door salesperson, from 3 o'clock until probably about 8 or 8:30. You don't want to go past 9 o'clock. And the reason being is because you can really piss people off, and a lot of times people are just getting off work around 3. So if you're starting to do your door-to-door selling, you can start early in the morning. You may get lucky and run into people who are retired and so forth. But a lot of times people who have money, they work. They've got homes, they've got bills, they need help, and they have services that we can render. So selling, when is the best time to sell? It's like this. What I do, I get a lead source. I make up a map of all the places that I've been. I've got really great help, and by using this help, I'm able to figure out customers who've moved into an area within a short amount of time. And then what I do is, if they're not there, I go back and I reroute my day. So I'm always constantly having things in my pipeline, and I try to set territories in areas. So if I'm in a zip code like 32222 or 322244 or whatever, I try to set most of my time if I have leads in that area, and then I go back. Now, if they're not there, I put a star by their name, and I go back and I go see these people, because what are we doing, guys? We're salespeople. How do we create money? How do we get money? We have leads, we have opportunities where we go and we sell stuff. We knock on doors. And selling, what is the best time? I'd probably have to say between 3 and 8. That's probably the best. Now, if you're selling insurance, it's kind of cool because, see, a lot of older people are home in the morning time or in the early afternoon. They go to doctors, so you always want to ask, do you have a doctor's appointment that day when you're setting an appointment? So for them, it's a little bit easier. So if you're selling insurance and things like this, then you're able to go during the morning times, the afternoon, and the daytime. And a lot of times because you've set up appointments, if you've got a lead list. Now, we do have some customers that when you call, they live in another state, maybe out in California. I live on the East Coast. So when is the best time to call those people? Again, I worked in a call center, and we used to work with Wells Fargo and banking and stuff. And I used to work with customers who lived in California and out west. So by the afternoon, we used to have another set of folks that would come in and work from 12 to 8 o'clock, and or from 1 to 9. And the reason being is because those people, they're still going while we're closing our day down. We're 3 hours, three and a half hours behind. So as we're slowing down, they're gearing up. So when is the best time to sell? You got to talk to your you got to talk to your bosses. Now be careful, because they want you to call people all the time. They want you to go knock on people's doors all the time. But if you're smart, what you'll do is you'll go ahead and set your day straight. You'll set your appointments, you'll go out and see them, and then you'll make a backup list, and then you'll always have something in the pipe, some place where you can go. So if you're in a neighborhood and they're not there, but you look on your list, well, I was just out here about 3 weeks ago, there's like 3 or 4 other people, let me go knock on their doors, because then that gives you the opportunity. Again, it's ebb and flow. It's like people are coming and going. If you got business people who work, and a lot of times you see these people on their days off. Okay, if you're lucky, if you can set an appointment with them. And a lot of times when people are working really hard, they really do need our house. They do need our services. They do need our help. So don't give up. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I'm your sales guy. And today we're just talking basic fundamentals about how to make more sales and selling. When is the best time to call on a customer? When is the best time to sell? It's the best time to sell is right now, every time. There are going to be some customers that are morning persons, afternoon, evening, and it's like ebb and flow. It's a numbers game. You just got to keep trying. You got to pick up that heavy phone when it's really tough, man. You're not talking to anybody, and then you finally get a chance. So you love the one you're with. So if you're out and about selling and you get a customer who's interested in thinking possibly, and you're looking at them and they're thinking real hard that maybe they might want to own what you're selling, you definitely need to go ahead and close if you can. Now, one-leggers are things people hate to do. There means you go see one person. That could be the husband, that could be the wife, that could be the significant other, or whatever. And you going out there and trying to tell them every single thing about what your great product can do, and you expect them to be able to tell everybody in the house and sell it like you sold it, it doesn't work. So the key to success is you try to work it out to where if you go to a one-legger, you say, oh, I'm so sorry. I generally talk with both the customer. I know you want me to, but let me go ahead and reset the appointment. Sometimes they don't want you to, because what happens is they really didn't want to buy it, but they said, honey, I'm not going to be there, so you go ahead and cancel it. It's just a fear factor, false evidence appearing real. Nobody likes to be sold stuff. They just want to buy stuff. And if we can properly help them figure out a way to buy it, if it's in their budget, or if they want it, or if they need it, we can help them. Selling, when is the best time to sell? I'm always selling. I'm always telling people about my business. I'm always telling people about what I do. I'm always saying hello to people. I'm always marketing. I'm always online. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm putting my information out there to let people know that I'm a salesperson. And if you need my services, may I please help you? And it's not begging. What it is doing is letting people know that, hey, this is what I do for a living. So I'm telling you, I sell real estate right here in Jacksonville. So if you need some real estate right here in Florida, hey, I got you back. If you need a pool service, a heater, a motor, equipment, insurance, I got it all. So what I'm sharing with you is selling. When is the best time to sell? It's ebb and flow, guys. It's like you got to test the market. Some communities where they're retirement communities, those people are going to be generally home. Now, a lot of times you got to remember, when you're selling older people, it can be tougher sometimes to sell, because they've dealt with a lot of people ripping them off, taking advantage of them. And I've been there, and I've been taken advantage of too, and it sucks. So selling, when is the best time to sell? I would probably say as soon as you get a lead, if it's a hot lead, you need to call that lead. You need to go set that appointment. Call them 4, 5, 6 times. If they don't answer, go and knock on their door. Yeah, don't be afraid to do that. You're a salesperson. And if you're selling insurance or selling a product over the phone, and you have the capability because you live in a community and an area where you're working in the same area, you might be able to go knock on their door. I do it all the time. When customers don't answer, I just go see them. I got a lead. it's my information. They touched something, they wanted some information, so that's what we do. When is the best time to sell? As soon as you get a lead. The best time to sell is when, like, I get leads, and they don't last for long, because there's a lot of competition out there, guys. You got to be the first one to pick up that heavy phone. You got to be the first one to knock on that door. You got to be the first one to call on these customers, because see, what'll happen is you'll have some say, well, I'm just getting a quote. I want to get a bunch of quotes and so forth. But listen, if you're the first person and the last person, you're guaranteed probably going to be able to sell it. Now, if your prices are right and your service is right, your features are good, your benefits are right, customers will purchase from you. And it's just the way it works. Selling, when is the best time to sell? Like I said, for older people, I've noticed that in the morning times, if you always ask, do you have a doctor's appointment today? Or what would be better for you, today or with tomorrow at 1 to 3? You give them a time frame, and then you let them tell you. I'm just telling you guys. And if you're knocking on doors and you're talking to customers and you've got a customer there, like I sell pool services and stuff, I'll stand right in front of the customer and I'll tell them a little bit about what we can do for them. Say, hey, can I check your water? And I go through what I do as a process. And by doing that, what it does for me, it gives me the capability to sell more. And selling, when is the best time to sell? All the time. I don't know. When I hear, I'm always listening. If somebody says something about real estate, I'm listening. If I go anywhere to a party or anything, I introduce myself. I talk to people. I share my job. I share my feelings, and I let people know that, hey, if you need a good salesperson to help you purchase something, I got you back. Selling, when is the best time to sell? Right after a sale. Once you've made a sale, a lot of times we get excited, man. I made my money. I made some money, honey. The best time to sell is right after making a sale. The reason why is the momentum's going. You're excited. You're not under pressure. You just made a sale. You're feeling good about yourself. You're closing. You've got this. But see, if you don't, what'll happen is you'll say, man, maybe I could have got another sale. See, here's the thing. Once you finish the sale, you do really, really good. Start looking at the next one. Get that next sale. Don't stop selling. And when is the best time to sell? I don't know, guys. There's so many different time frames. You can work in a mall, or you can work in a store, and they've got a 9 to 9 setup. So if you're fortunate, you're going to work some mornings, some afternoon, some evening. But if you are a smart person and you're in sales, do yourself the due diligence to start monitoring the time frames when people are more likely to purchase your products. And I've kind of figured it out. I've got some in the morning, some in the afternoon, and some in the later afternoon and evening. So if that's the case, then I just figured out that I need to be available a lot. Now, that didn't mean I'm working all the time. That means I'm out and about, I'm looking, I'm researching, I'm studying, I'm trying to help other people, I'm trying to find new customers. And selling, when is the best time to sell? Every day, all the time. If you got a product and you work on commission, we need to make money, honey. So we need to talk to people. We need to hand out business cards. I know it sounds old cliche. You got a phone now that you can use as a business card. There's just a lot of ways that we are able to sell. And selling, when is the best time to sell? I hope you got a little bit of answers. It can be in the morning, the middle, the afternoon. Just know your customers. Once you know your customers, you have a great idea of when they're going to be home. And the key to success is keep a master list of customers you haven't talked to yet, and go back and see these people, because that's a lead. Continuously do it and get better and better. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. Today we had a wonderful conversation about selling, and I am your sales guy, and we talked about selling. When is the best time to sell? Now you might know. Think about it. All right.